Welcome back to the channel, everybody. If you're new here, my name is Johnathan Cabrera. I'm a YouTuber and filmmaker, and if you like that kind of content, be sure to like and subscribe. In this portion of the video, we're actually going to be breaking down my trip, and I'm going to be telling you guys the rules and regulations, and we're going to be also breaking down my experience flying a drone in San Francisco. So let's get into the video. One thing that's absolutely important to me is to be looking at the GeoZone map. What this is a map of the area, and it's going to be highlighted specific colors, and it's going to let you know if you can fly in these zones or not. So let's take a look at a GeoZone map, and this is what it looks like, and these are the precautions that you're going to have to take. So let's start off with a couple of rules to keep in mind. Rule number one, when you fly your drone, always make sure you can see your drone when you're flying it. Say for example, you fly too far and you can't see it, and your battery dies. It's gonna fall out of the sky and it could possibly hurt somebody. Even worse, crash into a car and then you hurt more people. Something like that. I mean, you don't really hear about that happening often, but it can happen. So always fly with your drone in sight. Secondly, you're gonna wanna fly in control zones. So going back to that DJI GeoZone map, you're gonna wanna see which areas you can actually fly in and which areas you can't fly in. And you're gonna wanna fly at least 400 feet and below. Don't go anything higher. My drone, it has restrictions, so there's no way that I can actually go higher than 400 feet. There is a way to turn it off, but I do not recommend doing that unless it's needed, unless you're a commercial flyer. We're only talking about recreational flying right now. Third rule is register your drone. I know even though you can fly recreationally, but say you do lose your drone, that registration number is gonna connect the drone back to you and you'll be able to find it. If you lose it, maybe somebody finds it and they'll be able to get it back to you, but you need to actually register your drone. In the description below, I'll leave a link to register your drone. So fourth, this is actually new and I have yet to do this. I haven't flown recently, but there is a UAS test that you have to take so you can actually fly your drone, and you take this test in whichever area you are flying in, and you have to show it if somebody does stop you. And I'll be leaving it in the description below as well. The UAS test is actually a safety test, making sure you know what you actually do when you fly your drone and you're taking the right precautions. It's gonna be, I believe they're gonna give you a registration card, and then with that, you'll be able to show proof that you know how to operate your drone. Some extra rules are, do not fly near other airplanes or helicopters. If you see them, don't chase after them. That's insane. Please don't do that. Don't fly over crowds. please, you'll hurt somebody. You have to take precaution. I never fly over crowds. I never fly over cars. Don't fly under the influence. I know that sounds insane, but maybe you get drunk and you're like, hey, I'm gonna fly my drone, get a couple of shots. Don't do that, because you can get in serious trouble and possibly hurt yourself or somebody else. There are more rules and regulations, but I'll leave those in the description below. I just wanted to cover the basis and the most important one. Down below, I'll also be leaving a link to where you can fly a drone in San Francisco. There are permitted places and they're safe to fly. As far as flying a drone in San Francisco, for me, I did not have any issues. Basically everywhere is a national park and it's absolutely difficult to just launch off your drone. But in the city, it was safe, and I did see somebody else flying the same exact drone. So I decided to launch it up, and I got some beautiful city landscape shots, some very, very nice video footage of the pier, the ocean, and stuff like that. I do have shots of the San Francisco Bridge, but I was extremely, extremely far from it. Absolutely far from it, because you're not allowed to launch off near the bridge. I found a spot that was outside of national park regulations, and I launched it up and got it not as close as I would want, obviously, but I was able, since it's 4K, to crop it in and make it look like I'm actually closer. So other than that, I didn't get stopped or bothered. I don't fly, me personally, I don't fly around people. I don't get near anybody. I like to be alone, quiet, and just launch it up and grab my shots, bring it back down, and then leave. I don't like to launch it up where people are like, ooh, ah, there's a drone. No. I don't do that, and I never will. That's pretty much my experience. It's very safe. Watch out for the hills when you're launching it, grabbing your drone from an angle. So if you guys enjoyed this video, be sure to hit the like and subscribe. It'll help me out with the YouTube algorithm. If you have questions, as always, leave them down below and I'll get to them as quick as possible. Thank you guys so much, and I'll see you in the next one.